Sorry for uploading part 2 so late. My last few weeks were a bit stressful and on top of that I got the flu. I was just not able to get to editing the video sooner.
Oh my... No, fuck that shit.
So much has happened between part 1 and the end of day 6 that it is really difficult to put all of it into one video. Originally, I wanted to create shorter videos with more detail on my journey, but due to time constraints it is just not possible.
Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please! I beg you!
I cannot...
Not everything I did can be shown, but I will summarize the most important parts of each day. First of all, let's start with the rule set I came up with and explain it. Rule number 1. No spoilers. I already had to look up where I can find Malenia, and it made me realize how massive the game is. This is probably the least enforced rule of this run, as I managed to constantly see spoilers on YouTube videos. Rule number 2. No exploits. If there is an easy way to farm runes, I won't have it. Rule number 3. No boss battles except for required bosses. In order to get to Malenia I need 2 great runes, which implies beating Godrick and Renala. I also need to reach the mountaintop of the giants, which implies beating at least Morgoth. After beating these 3, the next major boss I need to defeat is Malenia. Mini-bosses at the end of dungeons are exempt from this rule, however. I need the experience. Rule number 4. No glitches or game-breaking bug exploits. If I would allow for glitches, I could probably fight Malenia as my first demigod. And I could probably also one-shot her with the right setup. But this would ultimately have a negative effect on my enjoyment. I do not want to learn multiple glitch setups or go through every weapon and buff description to figure out how to kill everything in sight within seconds.
What in the fuck is this?
I'm also not sure how to build my character. Currently I would like to go for a strength, dex and faith build with incantations in my left hand and a straight sword or some other weapon in my right. But I'm not super sure yet.
Quick, 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 quick. Quick! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Anyway, there is 19 hours of footage to go through, so let's get it rolling already. Day 3 I mostly spent exploring Stormveil Castle. I've pretty much acquired all important items and discovered most sites of grace. The item I was mostly excited about was the Godslayer seal together with the appropriate incantation book. But first I need to make an entry into the castle. One roadblock presented itself shortly before the site of grace that I would use as a hub to discover Stormveil. I'm tired of running away. I need to beat this guy. And so I decided to face the enemy in 4 different attempts.
Oh god. Yes. Awesome.
Remember how I had trouble with the birdies in part 1? Well, they are back and they brought their exploding barrels. Yeah, for some reason someone at From Software thought this was a good idea.
Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, great.
Someone has to tell me why these things had to exist. I can deal with grafted abominations, but these birds give me anxiety. Passing down the side of the castle wall, I find a nice ledge to plunge to my... Oh, I'm still alive. After doing some of what I would call avoiding and exploring, I take the elevator back up. I unfortunately attacked Gatekeeper Godrick after my elevator ride. I was not sure if this was correct. Although you can do almost everything you want in this game, keeping Godrick alive actually has its benefits. I later found out. And he wasn't hostile towards the player. For the time, however, I was confused what to do with the enraged Godrick, and In this moment of great confusion, guess who decided to pay me a short visit? None other than Louis and SaltyPhish.
Oh, hey. Yeah, thanks. Gonna need it. Considering how often I've died, I'm starting to lose hope. I'm sure I will eventually get there.
Their words of encouragement gave me motivation for this challenge, and my only thought at that point was, let's go to Malenia. Well, at least after figuring out how to do this. It's not that easy. During my time playing, I also decided to regularly meet every NPC I have met so far, to see if I can unlock new dialogue options. Currently they are Rodriga and Rogier, but soon enough there will be more, like Nefeli Lou.
Well, who do we have here?
By the way, because of these jumps I finally found out how to sprint in this game. You just need to hold down the dodge roll button. And so I used it to access even more areas in the castle.
Oh!
At the end of the day I also found the first major boss for this challenge.
Oh! I found Godrick.
I command thee. I am the Lord of all that is.
No!
Feeling not ready, I decided to dodge the social meeting like a responsible adult.
Ruleset is badass. Whee! I can.
Deciding to explore Lingrave more, I progressed Rodriga's side quest, which would eventually unlock Spirit Ashes upgrades for me. A gameplay feature I very much needed and also enjoy using. I do not want to grow reliant on Spirit Ashes, but for the time my stats are as low as they currently are, it feels like a good addition to boss fights.
Greetings.
Exploring different icons on the map, I also found the bird's eye telescope. This was the point I encountered Bocs. His quest led me to the western shoreline. Initially, I misinterpreted his description and went to the wrong place. Nothing of particular interest happened on my way there, except the...
What fuck? What the fuck?
Anyway, after clearing the mine, looting, smithing stones and defeating the boss, I realized I was at the wrong address.
Ah!
Now in the right cave, I come along a summon sign and summoned Old Knight Istvan. I kind of forgot that these summon signs are usually tied to a boss fight location. We pretty much first tried the boss room. The Altar of Dragon Communion was at the end of the cave. It takes until day 7 that I realize how to use it, and as of writing this script, my first dragon heart has yet to be acquired, though I plan to do so before clearing the path to Renala. Day 5 was quite a successful day. The only problem is that I tried something new with my streaming setup, and even though OBS reported that no frames were lost, my stream was running at about 1 frame per second, and so was the recording to my local hard drive. I will put a bit of footage here to give you a good idea. I will condense everything that happened into a small segment with footage I recorded in post. First I discovered the graves at the lake-facing cliffs, gathered items in the surrounding graveyards while dodging the skull incantations.
Ouch! What the fuck is this?
At the nearby church I found the sorcerer Bocs as well. Continuing to the lake, I found a trader next to the site of grace and bought a hanging lantern. Close by was also a map of East Liurnia. Wanting to advance from the west side, I rode on Torrent until I found the next site of grace, close to the mini Erdtree at the converted tower. Looted everything and then spent an hour with the Erdtree avatar boss. After making a few adjustments, I store my armor away and buy the astrologer set from the nomadic merchant at the Liurnia lakeshore. I also put some stats into Faith, as Flame Sling incantation helps out massively with the avatar.
Yes, get fucked!
Slightly behind the mini Erdtree I found a path leading to the Roadsand catacombs. The dungeon itself was quite easy, but had 2 illusionary walls. After progressing further, a 3rd illusionary wall leads to a boss fight, with the Spirit Caller Snail. At first I had no idea why this knight figure was called a snail. Well, until I beat it. Turns out the real boss is invisible and keeps summoning strong spirits. I spent another 30 minutes just fighting the spirit to finally figure out the gimmick of this fight. The ground below the invisible snail is glowing and you can get 2 to 3 hits in before it teleports. Using my own spirits, I could keep the snail's spirit occupied until around half health. After that my spirits were dead and it was time for dodging while trying to find the snail. This was annoying, but using a power attack as the first hit on the snail did enough damage so that the fight wouldn't take too long. The reward was pretty neat as well, as it gave me the Glintstone Sorcerer Spirit Ashes. Day 5 was a lot of fun, but I was pretty upset when I found out that my footage was mostly useless. I figured out the problem in the end. What I failed to realize was that I was using the X264 encoder instead of my NVENC H264 encoder with my RTX 3070. The CPU encoding cannot handle the bitrate set for my recording. That was the main problem. Anyway, please enjoy day 6 with proper bitrates. Exploring Liurnia was refreshing. The only reason I did not attempt Godrick so far is because I thought I can skip every demigod and still reach Malenia. Without glitches, this is not possible. So back to Stormveil Castle we go. Eventually I managed to get Godrick into his phase 2. Fighting Godrick without the help of Nepheli is tough. However, the Twitch user Vinny316 visited my stream and had some useful insight on the fight patterns.
Wow, this really helps out actually.
My best solo attempt happens 52 minutes into the stream.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. That's really good. No, no, no. You've got to be kidding me. Oh no.
This defeat was resting heavy on my shoulders, and for the next 30 minutes I was hardly able to get Godrick down to half HP. I needed to get some new ideas on the fight, and decided that the help of Nepheli is more than welcome. I cannot always rely on help, but the frustration was getting to me. 1 hour and 50 minutes into the non-stop fight against Godrick, and with the help of Nepheli and my summoned sorcerer, the end was finally near.
What the hell?
1 hour after my last best attempt at the fight, we get it together.
Oh!
of all that is golden. And one day, we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
You defeated him. You should have it.
Content with my success, I decided to explore every last bit of Limgrave. This was mostly off camera, but I do have footage of a few curious encounters.
What?
I got invaded by Bloody Finger Nereus, and then Yura helped me out.
Nice.
And in quick succession, I found Patches, Kenneth Hyde, Alexander Bajar, and Live. In the end, I also got Godrick's rune from the Limgrave Tower. Before I finish this part, there are a few things I would want to do beforehand, like visiting the village of the Albinaurics. Still exploring Limgrave, I paid another visit to the ulcerated tree at the bottom of Stormveil Castle.
Oh, shit. What the? I don't see anything!
This fight is not fun, not with this much clipping. I did take it out off-screen with a cheesy strategy that was not fun to pull off. After spawning the tree, you have to reach the ladder as fast as possible, and then loop back the entire castle until you get back to the spot where you initially dropped down into the arena.
Come on.
I did not drop down, but instead used ranged weapons and fire incantations. I'm not proud, but it seemed to progress Roger's questline, so I'm happy. I do everything for this legend.
By my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see.
I then continued my interactions with the new NPCs I have found in Day 6, and I also found D. Hunter of the Dead.
Here has been touched by death. I have a matter of my own to attend to.
Oh, shit!
I owe you one, I reckon.
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort?
Finding one part of the Dectus medallion, I finally have intel on how to operate the Great Lift of Dectus. This reminded me of the other medallions I need to get in order to reach the Halic tree. So I'm off to the village of the Albinaurics.
I witnessed a sight much the same in my infancy. The oppression of the weak. Murder and pillage unchecked. A waking nightmare made by men.
After playing hide and seek with the only autonomously glowing pot in the game, Nepheli helps me to get rid of the Omen Killer. Thinking I have done enough for today, I warp to the Round Table Hold to log off for the day.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Uh-oh, what the fuck? Why am I being invaded? Sorry, Ensha, but what the fuck?
Later on, I decided to meet with Latenna to find out more about the second half of the medallion to the Helic tree.
Meet the young Albinauric Latenna, then please give it to her.
On the way, I also found Patches, who then directed me to Raya. After retrieving her amulet, she tells me about the second way to get to the Elder's Plateau.
Near the Grand Lift, there's an old tunnel.
This means it is not necessary to go to Fort Faroth in Caelid. She also hands me the invitation to the Volcano Manor, which I will visit perhaps after beating Malenia. Anyway, back to the cave that leads me to Latenna.
There is something I must do, even if I must say farewell to my wolf lover. Will you show me the way? To the land of Miquella's Halic tree. If you accept, I would gladly apprise you of the whereabouts of the medallions of the half. Forgive me, Lobo.
Damn that poor doggy. A lot has happened, but I still have a long way to go in this challenge. If this was a New Game Plus, I might be done with this challenge in a single 20 to 30 minute video and about 4 days of streaming. But it is not. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've spent well over half of my life playing RTS games with the intent to be good at them. Elden Ring is not an RTS. It is also my first ever Soulsborne game. Everything is new to me. I'm not just playing the part of the noob for these videos.
I am
The noob. Compared to day one, I have grown as a player, of course. But there are many things I still have to learn about the game. There are also some things that I already have learned. To test my growth, I will advance through Raya Lucaria and challenge Renala. But until then, thank you everybody for watching, and see you back in part 3.